Welcome back to the new video. Let's get straight into it, because what you're about to see raises serious questions. In an unexpected turn, she's pulled over by a McHenry County Sheriff's deputy while driving through Montgomery County, Texas. What unfolds next is anything but ordinary, and it's exactly why this clip is getting so much attention.
Are you pulling me over?
Maddie's first misstep happens almost instantly, and it's a critical one. She removes her seatbelt right as the stop begins, but without dashcam footage to verify when that happened, there's no proof to support her side. In that moment, she unintentionally gives the officer a clear basis for reasonable suspicion. From a legal standpoint, whether she was wearing the seatbelt before the stop becomes a matter of her word against the deputies, a situation that rarely works in the driver's favor in court. This is exactly why what you do immediately after being pulled over matters so much. The safest approach is to remain calm and still. Turn on your interior light if it's dark, and keep your hands clearly visible on the steering wheel. Avoid any sudden movements or actions that could raise suspicion or strengthen the justification for the stop. To her credit, Maddie does acknowledge this mistake to the officer, but by then, the damage is already done.
I just took my seatbelt off as a habit. Yeah, I just took this off, just so you know. I wasn't driving without this habit. Huh?
That's the reason you're being stopped.
No, I just took it off.
Maddie appears to be trying to cooperate and be honest, but that approach quickly backfires. The officer treats her explanation not as context, but as an admission, using her own words to strengthen the basis for the stop. What makes this even more questionable is the setup. The deputy had just passed Maddie while traveling in the opposite direction, a position that likely wouldn't offer a clear view of whether her seatbelt was fastened in the first place. This is where many drivers unintentionally put themselves at a disadvantage. Volunteering extra details or rushing to explain can give an officer more to work with than necessary. In Maddie's case, her immediate, defensive response ends up reinforcing the officer's reasonable suspicion rather than challenging it. Without dashcam footage to support her version of events, the situation becomes one-sided, and even subtle cues like nervous or defensive body language can be interpreted in ways that justify the officer's actions.
I swear to God, it's habit. Yeah. I wasn't speeding.
Oh, man, I'm sure the reason you're being stopped today because you can have the seatbelt on.
No, I just took it off. I swear to God, I have a camera. I have a camera. I can play it for you. Because it's habit. When I stop the car and put it in park, I take it off.
There you go. Thank you. Is this your car?
Yeah.
What do you have to do?
Because my husband owns a dealership.
Okay. So, does that mean you can just put dealer tags on any vehicle that you own?
No, we're gonna sell it.
Usually whenever
Yes.
for a dealer or if they're showing the vehicle, which
Yeah.
is neither of
It's
not neither case right now, correct?
Maddie then points out her dashcam, but instead of addressing it, the officer pivots to an entirely different issue. He begins questioning her use of a dealer tag, shifting the focus of the stop. However, according to the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles, dealer plates can legally be used by a dealer's family members or employees, even for personal driving. That context matters, and it's missing here. But what's concerning is the officer's confidence while presenting this information. He speaks as if his interpretation is fact, when in reality, it appears to be based on assumption rather than a clear understanding of the law. This kind of shift can change the entire tone of a stop. turning a minor interaction into something far more complicated than it needs to be. Another example of how a dash cam can make all the difference when cooperation breaks down and facts are in dispute.
No, it's, of course, I'm driving it, so I have to have insurance on it and stuff.
Your vehicle, and you said yes, but there shouldn't be a reason why you should have a dealer tag on there just because your husband.
Well, right now I'm driving it, so it's not like. Do you want me to call my husband? You can talk to him.
I'll go off of what you tell me. You told me that this is your vehicle. You still live on Country Place Road?
Yeah.
All right, bring it back with you.
Uh-huh.
Here you go. Make sure you wear your seatbelt also.
I swear I was wearing.
Make sure you also start driving cars if it's not.
Huh?
Dealer tag. Put a real tag on your vehicle, not dealer tag. Okay.
Okay, but I swear I have. Okay.
In the end, the officer leaves without issuing Maddie a single citation, and that outcome says a lot. This entire encounter highlights just how powerful a dash cam can be. Without it, the situation could have escalated into a prolonged legal battle driven by questionable assumptions and a clear misreading of the law. Instead, the presence of recorded evidence shifts the balance, adding a layer of accountability that's hard to ignore. And this isn't an isolated case. The next clip from Sean Chavez's channel tells a similar story. Another encounter shaped by an officer's misunderstanding of the law and a shoot, ready to present to the officer. But despite that preparation, the situation doesn't de-escalate. Officer Lamela pushes forward, appearing unwilling to reconsider, even when faced with clear legal backing. What follows becomes less about the law and more about how authority is exercised when the facts are already on the table.
Give me 1 sec, all right? All right. My partner's going to check your license, make sure it's all valid.
Way that affects performance, at least none that applies in the way the officer is claiming. That raises a real possibility that the officer is working from a misunderstanding of the law. Meanwhile, Mr. Chavez does everything right. He calmly presents prior court documents and makes a clear effort to address the officer's concerns with verified legal backing. But when that evidence is dismissed, the situation takes on a different tone. By refusing to even consider a judge's prior ruling, the officer is, in effect, challenging a decision that was already made after a full legal review. And that's an important distinction. In a courtroom, a judge examines the relevant statutes, ordinances, and case law before reaching a conclusion. If there had been a valid legal basis to prohibit those headlights, it would have been addressed during that process. The fact that the court ruled them compliant makes the officer's continued insistence all the more questionable and shifts this encounter, leaving little room for dispute. Still, he later confirms that he won't be taking legal action against the department or Officer Lamela, a decision that brings closure, but also leaves important questions on the table. What this moment ultimately highlights is the unmatched value of a dash cam. In many traffic stops, outcomes hinge almost entirely on an officer's observations and interpretation of events. A dash cam changes that dynamic. It introduces objective evidence, levels the playing field, and gives drivers the ability to challenge claims with clarity and confidence. It protects not just the driver, but the integrity of the interaction itself. The reality is, we're entering a new era of transparency. The widespread use of dash cams is reshaping accountability, discouraging questionable stops, and providing everyday drivers with a powerful layer of security. In many ways, a dash cam serves the same purpose as a home alarm system, quietly safeguarding you in moments you can't predict. It's a small investment that can make a critical difference when it matters most. If there's a specific interaction or legal topic you'd like us to break down next, drop it in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more in-depth analysis of real-world police encounters.